minutes from liftoff at Kennedy Space Center to our splashdown in Mississippi. Here we go with liftoff. The 5 engines, as I said, were got up to speed, and then they let it go. Actually, these were hold-down clamps. There were 4 of them. The engines are burning full power. The white that is falling away here was ice. The fuel was so cold that the atmosphere froze. We had several tons of ice. But by the time we cleared the tower, which took about 8 seconds, the ice was gone. There's a flame trench here at the bottom of that takes the fire this way so it doesn't engulf the spacecraft. The first stage was from here down, and that solid black line there, and it lasted for 2 minutes and 42 seconds. It took us to an altitude of about 35 miles. It would be about 50 kilometers, and acceleration to about 10,000 kilometers per hour, and then it shut down and dropped away. And we'll see that in just a moment. This is a camera from a high-powered camera from the launch control area, watching us all the way into the end of first stage. The first stage shuts down and separates, and you went from 4.5 times gravity to 0 at this point, and was a real jolt. Then the inner stage comes away after we see this thing is seen from Earth, and then we couldn't see this from the spacecraft. There's the Atlantic Ocean, white clouds, the descent stage. Back over here is Florida, and then the western Atlantic. The same picture that I showed you a moment ago, and this is actually what it looked like. We were going south towards the east equator, and when I took the picture, that's what it looked like. It looked like the United States standing on end. So LA is right in this area, Gulf of California is here. Florida is right here. Inside of our spacecraft, we had, I don't know in cubic meters, but let me put it in imperial system, 300 cubic feet. Instrument panel, and we're demonstrating here that it's impossible to get things steady and still in 0 gravity. They just won't do it. Here's a spoon. John was flipping a pencil, and here's a flashlight that we tried to get steady, and it just kept moving. You just couldn't stop it. Most of our food was dehydrated, so you had to add water to it. This is Space Shuttle. I wanted to show you what liquid does in space. It takes the shape of a sphere. This is actually grape juice. And this is a Space Shuttle picture, and there goes grape juice. And here's a banana up there. That was also Space Shuttle. We didn't have any bananas. You look at the flight across the moon, everywhere there's craters and hills and valleys and mountains, and it's pretty rough. We separated from the command module that you saw a moment ago, and this was about 8 hours before we were to land, but we had a problem in the other spacecraft that delayed our landing 6 hours. Here's a good from the hatch to the footpad is about almost 5 meters. The vehicle weighed about 17,000 kilos at this point. So we started our descent, and the descent was with the descent engine. This is our spacecraft we left behind. about an altitude of 100 kilometers at this point. Now we're about 2,000 meters above the moon. We recognize these two large craters, which were 500 meters in diameter. As we get closer, we come down like a helicopter using the rocket engine instead of a helicopter blade, and we blast out this moon dust. These lines here are electrical probes, and when they touch the moon, it turns on a light that says contact, and you stop the engine and you drop in the last meter. You don't want to land with the engine burning, or you plug up. The decent engine, and if it blows up, you're dead, of course. John Young had the first out. The commander was always the first out. And that's why Neil Armstrong was the first on the moon, because he was the commander. Plus, the hatch opens opposite him, so that guy on the other side, the commander, has to get out first. And then I closed the hatch, walked around to the commander's side, opened the hatch, and then the lunar module column filed out. We were using Hasselblad cameras, 70 millimeter with a Zeiss lens, and they had film magazines. We had no digital cameras back then.